Hey, welcome back, everybody. I have my pregame pulse, my final thoughts on this big showdown between the Rams and Eagles, the game of the day. In my opinion, well, I think we'd all agree on that actually. This is the big one, a day of reckoning for our Rams and our Rams run defense, right? They have to show up if we have any chance of winning this game. And this has big ramifications down the road, playoff seedings and such, and who might get home field advantage if these two teams meet in the playoffs. Now, I'm getting this off before the inactives are announced. I'm going to take my best guess, pretty good educated guess, I think, on who the inactives will be. And I also, two comments on college football before we get rolling here. My first comment is, how does a top 10 team, ninth ranked Indiana, I'm talking about, lose by 53 points? Well, I think it's because they built that ranking by beating Western Illinois, Duke, and Western Michigan. And there is so much of this going on. It seems like these, the big time teams are playing more and more cupcakes every year, and it makes for some kind of crappy Saturday afternoon football and Saturday morning for that fact. And the second thing I'm gonna mention here is, hey, if you want a team to collapse, just ask me to build them up. I built up the Cal Bears and their amazing young freshman quarterback, and I don't think it was on him, but they got shellacked by San Diego State. So, Farbode, they may not be coming for your Miami Hurricanes after all, but man, that really surprised me. San Diego State taking care of business. So, what do we got here? The likely inactives. This is the way I'm seeing it now. The big news is Nick Hampton, a late scratch. He will be inactive. Didn't even make the trip due to an illness. And on the surface, might not seem like a big deal, but he is a big time special teams contributor. And remember, we only have four outside linebackers to begin with: Byron Young, Jared Verse, Josiah Stewart, and Hampton. So my thought was, I was looking all over the transaction list last night, trying to determine if the Rams had activated a couple. They have a couple outside linebackers on their practice squad, and they apparently did not, which surprised me. But then I got to thinking, maybe this is opening the door for Deshaun Johnson's first appearance of the year, because technically he's a defensive lineman, defensive end, but he can play that edge. Maybe not a big threat rushing the passer, but decent against the run. So I think that's what they're going to do. My guess is Deshaun Johnson will be active, and the inactives would be Steve Avila, Stetson Bennett, Colby Parkinson, and Hampton, and I guess DJ Humphreys, maybe David Quisenberry, one of those offensive linemen, likely an offensive tackle. So that's what I'm expecting as far as the inactives go. And the Eagles, the two guys I know will be inactive is backup running back Shipley, and the quarterback McKee. And who's picking who? Well, NFL.com, they're experts. 4 out of 5 pick the Eagles. ESPN, more of the same. 5 out of 6 also pick the Eagles. And it's to be expected, right? I mean, we're talking about the defending Super Bowl champions. They're playing at home. They've beat the Rams last 2 times, once in the playoffs last year and once during the regular season. They beat the Rams 9 of the last 10. The only reason an expert, I think, would pick the Rams is the Rams seem to be playing a little bit better football right now than the Eagles, but not hurting my feelings. I totally get it. Over at USA Today, a little more even. Well, exactly even. 3 out of 3. 3 picking the Rams, 3 picking the Eagles. And then the Rams up split here. 2 pick the Eagles and 2 pick the Rams. Ian and I picking the Eagles. I'm using some reverse psychology on myself, if that makes any sense. And then my 2 guests on the Saturday morning roundtable, Ian and Scott, both picking the Rams. And I hope they are right, and I hope I am wrong. I am trying to change things up, trying to protect my Rams up straight up picks percentage, because I've been dinged over the last few years. I basically picked the Rams every game, or almost every game. And I'm trying to, pick more with my brain and less with my heart. And so I went with the Eagles in this one. And I think I very well could be wrong this time. Hey, before we move on, a reminder, we have teamed up with MyBookie. They got a really good deal for you here. Create an account, log on, and use promo code RAMSUP. That's mybookie.website/join with RAMSUP. Use that promo code RAMSUP. New users up to $500 in bets fully covered. Not bad. And courtesy of Skunkwork Analytics, their syndicate has 2 recommendations here, and I'm not encouraging you to place these bets. These are just talking points. Rather, you figure it out for yourself so you don't blame me or the syndicate. But they have 2 money line bets they really like. One is the Denver Broncos over the Chargers. Broncos 3-point underdogs. And this pains them to share this with me because most of the syndicate is indeed made up of a lot of Charger fans. And the other one they like, the 1-point favorite Cowboys over the Bears. And, typically you think, money line bets, take the underdog, $100 pays 120, something like that. But not a bad move to take the favorite in some cases, and that's what they're doing here. But go to MyBookie, create an account. I think you'll be very happy with this deal they're offering. And man, can't beat it. $500 fully covered. Not bad. So I got my players to watch here. And typically I include 5. I'm sorry, typically I include 2. This time I got 5. I think it is 5 players to watch. And we're not talking about the standard bears, Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, no, these are guys that for this specific game, we're hoping show up or we think might show up. And one player that needs to show up is Poona Ford. The Rams had some serious issues, as we all know, slowing down Barkley and the Eagles last year. And the Rams made 2 additions, Nate Landman and Poona Ford, to address that weakness, Achilles heel, if you want to call it that. And the Rams' defensive line really hasn't been tested yet. I think they played okay against the run, nothing spectacular. Obviously giving up only 14 points a game. There's something to be said for that. But now we go to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles, and Poona Ford is going to have to step up, and hopefully he will. And speaking of Nate Landman, by the way, I was watching the Utah-Texas Tech game, just turnover after turnover, and the announcers shared that Texas Tech had shared with their defense some video of the peanut punch technique. And I have to guess that maybe Nate Landman showed up in some of those clips. But Poona Ford, he's my first player to watch. And, I think Ramley is on board with this. This is today, Sunday against the Eagles. These are, this is where he needs to earn his money. This is what he was brought on board for offensive attacks like this, led by Barkley. Another player to watch, Kobe Durant. Now, why Kobe Durant? Ahkello Witherspoon is out, and the outside corners will be Emmanuel Forbes and Kobe Durant. Durant has played well, but not as many snaps as the 2 outside guys. He will be he'll get an elevated number of snaps for sure, and we'll see how he can handle the task. A.J. Brown and or Devontae Smith. The Eagles' passing attack has been pretty anemic, and Ahkello Witherspoon last year really did a great job at shutting down A.J. Brown. So, it's a little dicey for the Rams here. We don't want this Eagles passing game to get rolling because I think we are going to try to do everything we can to take away the run. And if we do that, then we need our cornerbacks to hold up to some degree. And this is a big day for Kobe Durant. See if he can handle it. I think he's been playing lights out with his limited number of snaps so far. Now he takes center stage as one of our starting outside corner. And, Darius Williams, he'll get a lot more snaps as well, maybe Josh Wallace. So just a little bit of a different look in our secondary due to the Witherspoon injury, obviously. And bouncing over to the offense, Blake Corum, I think all signs are pointing to an uptick in his touches, his snap counts. And, The Rams, I originally thought Blake Corum was kind of a mirror image of Kyron Williams, a guy that they could plug in and not miss a beat. And I think that's the case. But I think Blake Corum does offer a few things. Well, one thing in particular that Kyron maybe doesn't, and that is pop, that explosiveness, which we all saw it last week, didn't see it coming. And now Kyron offers things that I think Blake doesn't, just a little more wiggle, the ability to get those extra yards in between the tackles, picking up first downs and picking up touchdowns, short yardage situations. But Blake, otherwise, geez, man, I just want to see him get more touches, and I think he will. This could be the game. This could be the one where we've been waiting to see Blake Corum put a stamp on this, his stamp on this Rams offense. And another guy to watch on offense, Jordan Whittington, and another guy we've been kind of waiting for him to make a big impact. I mean, he makes a significant impact in the return game, in the run game blocking, and he has a play here or there. But he has clearly elevated himself above Tutu. I think that's the case as the number 3 wide receiver, and I still want to see Tutu get involved. But I'm reading between the lines here that Rams could have some stuff set up for Jordan Whittington in this game. Just a gut feeling. And the last player to watch, another injury affecting the Rams offense. Steve Avila out, Justin Dedich in once again, and going up against Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, really good Eagles defensive front. And I'm assuming Dedich and Shelton are going to get the duty at times, the call to take care of Jalen Carter, duo blocking, teaming up on him every single play. Now, sometimes it could be Dotson and Shelton, but regardless, Dedich is going to have to play. We'd like him to play the game of his life. How about that? He's been okay, I think, so far. We'd all rather have Avila. I get it. Dedich is decent, though, and if he has a really good game, it could be the difference between a win and a loss here. Now, last week I made 4 predictions, and 3 of them actually were wrong. So I'm leaving them on the board here. Prediction number 1, Verse gets his first sack. And, I don't think Verse has been playing poorly. Ian tells me that he's sucking up a lot of blocks. McVay suggested that as well. Terrence Ferguson gets his first reception. Had some offensive snaps finally last week. Parkinson's still out, so this could be the week for him. And back to Jordan Whittington, still waiting for his big day, and this could be it. He had a big 40-yard reception last week, so that was big considering, who we're talking about, a number 3, number 4 wide receiver. And my 4th prediction is Jalen Hurts disappoints, and maybe that's on my wish list as opposed to a prediction list, but I think the Rams are going to get to him, fluster him a little bit, and maybe he makes a mistake or 2. So that's all I got here. Let's go, man. Ready to rumble. Rams, Eagles, the biggest game of the year so far for our Rams. And, my prediction was an Eagle win, but I got a really strong feeling the Rams could pull an upset here. This could go either way very easily. A big play here or there, an untimely turnover. We'll see. I think it's 2 of the best teams in the NFL. Let's kick back and enjoy it. And, well, we'll enjoy it a lot more if the Rams come away with a win. That's all we can hope for. It's in their hands now. Go Rams. We'll talk to you after the game. Out here.